Well, because things are taking so long with this clubby to get the bodywork done and everything, channel's been a bit dead. I thought I'd buy another project car. I already did buy that one, which I was going to track until I realised now it's actually too nice underneath the body to just track, so I'm selling that. So I bought this $500 piece of junk, which, no, I love the car, but there's a lot of things wrong with this car. That's not an issue. That's not an issue. That's not an issue. That's not an issue. You may get a hint of some of the issues as soon as you open the boot and see a couple of sets, different rims, you know, steering wheels and stuff. This is not a problem. The fact it's really low is not really the problem. It's when we get up front, yeah, flat tire, another mismatched rim. It's when we get up front, open the hood. For a start, you should not have an engine that dirty. That's all coolant residue. And that's why I bought this car. So basically the description was $700, take as is or part out, engine blown. I asked the guy what exactly that meant. Basically, long story short, as he said, it ran without oil, then the motor seized, then it freed up the next morning and now has overheating issues. That's not much help at all because you can't really seize a motor and then have it get free the next morning unless things got a bit hot. Basically, I don't know what the deal is with the oil. What I do know is that if you pop the oil cap, have a look underneath, look at all that frothy smush. So, certainly done at least intake gaskets, most likely head gaskets. It was certainly not filled with coolant, so that would certainly be why it's overheating, and it is leaking from the thermostat. I mean, all that residue there is from the thermostat leaking, because there is no gasket as far as I'm aware. I think that is just silicone, or else it's a very old gasket. So the first thing to do is to just take this off and see if we A, have a thermostat, because the car was skidded, so it probably doesn't have one, and B, try and reseal it up, see if that can fix our coolant issues. Yeah, don't mind the fact it's just got one random lead. So yeah, you can start to see some of the issues. There is a bit of an oil leak down there, nothing major. The real problem is when you go to try and start it. I have already started it briefly, but when you start it cold, it goes a little something like this. Possibly, may not. It nearly locks up. That's it running at the moment. It does have a misfire. As you can see, every now and then it just stops. But yeah, it's running-ish. It's not really ticking, which I'm surprised, considering it didn't run without oil. So we've got to get the rocker covers off, have a look. I'm not going to let it run too long because it might overheat. I did drive it home last night. Oh, you can see the misfire there. That's very bad. I'm not going to let it run too long though because it most likely will overheat. We do have an airbag fault, and for some reason the ABS the ABS light is completely tripping out. I'm not sure why, but there are even more issues than just the engine. When I drove it home last night, it was only like a 10-minute drive, but something is really wrong with the suspension. It felt like it was like a square wheel. It is the only way I can describe it. Just a constant thump, enough to make the car go up and down. It's partly might be due to the fact this tire is extremely flat, but and worn. My goodness me. But we need to check the suspension. It might be a wheel bearing because I quickly had a look underneath. And I couldn't really see anything, although I only had a look on the other side, not this side. But here looks caked in mud. Can't really see anything wrong, to be honest. Straight off the bat, other than, oh, never mind. That steering rack end is short. That could possibly be why. So that's certainly an issue. Got to fix. Honestly, this car is pretty far gone, not gonna lie. It's got a lot that needs done to it. We have a look on the interior. The door doesn't stay open. It's missing trim for the seats because these are not the seats that come in a Balena. That's the trim it was meant to come with. These are straight out of an Executive. I know because I've had one. So that's probably why there's an airbag light. Because this would be a 6-loop system, this car. These seats are not part of the airbag system. So that will be why. It's got a head unit, missing the fascia, it's missing that top piece up there. What the hell is that headliner? like a blue velvet. It is disgusting. The car also stinks. It really stinks. There's rip in the carpet here, and if we go even further back into the rear, there's a ginormous rip in the carpet there. The seat backs are missing. Basically, this car's looking a very, very hard car to flip, not gonna lie. I don't think it's one will flip. This might end up being the track car. So, what are we up for? Engine, because it's kind of locking up already, for sure. Although I do want to see the condition of the engine, try and understand more or less what condition it is in. The interior is pretty rough, but we need a new steering rack most likely, because the steering is like, this is what it is left like when driving. It pulls like this, maybe even a bit more. It's really, really, really left hand down. So yeah, it's very rough, but I don't know, little steps at a time. I think for now, let's take the thermostat off, take the rocker covers off, see what we're dealing with underneath. So it's actually the next day now, and the car is completely dead cold. I'll just show you what the startup situation's like. I'm going to turn the headlights off, so we've got all the battery power in the world. Runs like crap. Now it's fine-ish, and every now and then it kicks. But you heard it, like it actually locked up. I kept holding my hand on the key and then it went over. So I don't know if it's the engine locking up. I don't know if the starter's got an issue. Yeah, not sure, but that's the situation we're left with at the moment. We'll try to have a look when we can get up on the hoist. Not the hoist, in the air. Gosh. We're in the Bellina, and this car has been sitting for a week and a bit or something like that. I gotta move it because it got a bloody defect. Not a defect, abandoned vehicle or something. Basically, it's gotta be moved off the street. So I'm just gonna move it off the street. But let's see if it starts. It's probably very locked up. I'm even gonna actually prime it twice, just to give it the best chance possible. Listen. Wow. It actually started up way better than before. It didn't try to lock up, it just cranked. That's weird. That was literally not what I was expecting at all. It's got a flat front left tire. That's probably why I got given the bad notice, so we got to be a bit careful. Oh my gosh. As you can see, ripping right into this motor. It's actually like a couple of weeks after the last video, but I'm just ripping straight into it. I want to change these intake gaskets, try and sort out the thermostat. I'll probably just put some glue on it or something, some sealant, change the water and hope it's all good. Wow, you don't expect those kind of things. So this thing sits in there like that, and then there's a little arm that goes over this stud, which is down there on the ground somewhere. There it is. This thing was not coming out. There's meant to be an O-ring there, and you put usually a tiny bit of silicone on it, and I don't know why it was so stuck. I had to use a pry bar. I've never had to use one, and this just straight up broke. So great. Nice. Gotta get another one of those now. I think I have one, which is lucky, but yeah, you got to get that out just so you can get this out, because this has got to slide out of the intake down in there. Then you can get the intake off. Just pulled this intake bolt out from this side, and this is a very good sign of a failed intake gasket, because these bolts actually seal water jackets. This one, yeah, these are the other bolts for reference. They got some oil on them, or maybe it's oil galleries they seal. Sorry, I'm not sure. But this one's got milky sludge on it, so yeah, we know that one's certainly not sealing properly. There is a water jacket here, and I'd hazard to guess there's like an orange O-ring. I'll show you when we'll pull it off. That always fails on the plastic intake manifold gaskets, which this is plastic. So I bet you that's one. Let's see if there are any more. you see here is the water jacket, and every single time these little just these look like that, the very edge of it just fails, just like that. It crimps. And here's the other side. You see that one's actually, that's pretty bad, that one. That's actually completely split. That's a bit unusual. Here's the other one. Again, that's failed. They always fail at the top or bottom. And again, there's the other one. That's also failed. The rest of it looks okay, except these are a little, it's actually ripped. I don't know if that was when I took it off. Probably was, but that's a bit ripped as well. But yeah, so that's what fails. That usually causes your coolant to mix with the oil, because the coolant's going in there. You can actually see a little bit there, it's actually mixed. And because that drains down through the cam, which means you can stuff your cam up, there are little holes at the end, you can see them there. And then it goes into the sump, and then the sump picks it up, and then that circulates water as well as oil through your engine. And that leaves the frothy oil, which is what you can see under the oil cap. Take it off. It's not bad because I haven't started in ages, but there's usually froth under there and in the head, and that comes from the the oil being recirculated. So yeah, that's not good. So let's clean this up a bit, change the intake gaskets. I have new ones. I'll show you what they're meant to look like. Chuck them back in, chuck it all back on, and hope it's not a head gasket as well, just an intake gasket. Well, as you can see, I've got the motor torn down again. Well, not torn down, but I'm starting to tear it down. Basically, unfortunately, I did lose the footage of it, but I started it after I did the intake gaskets. It's still blowing crap out the exhaust, some coolant, and there was a lot of bubbles in the overflow. Sorry, in the radiator cap when because I had it off, so I was bleeding it, and a lot of bubbles were coming out, which seemed like exhaust gases. Checked the spark plugs, and all of them bar one were wet, and the other one that wasn't wet was very clean. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it needs to take gaskets as well. So now just strip down the engine and get the door. Sorry, head gaskets. So now just strip down the engine and get to doing that. So it is the next day here, and I've actually got younger bro helping me out for a bit. He's currently taking off the exhaust manifolds with a 1/2 inch drive with it fully extended. Great, I've not taught you anything clearly. That's, you're gonna strip a bolt, I swear. But the intake should come off now. So Josh, if you want, pull it off, I'll help you. Let's pull the intake off. Hold all this out of the way. Hold the wiring limb out of the way. I believe that's everything other than this little Vatco is down here. Yep. Alright. Just lift off the intake. Just slide it forward, it should come out. Alright. Got the wiring harness stuck. Sorry, the EGR stuck at the back with the wiring harness. Alright, pull it off. Right, and there we go. There's the intake. Yeah, thanks, put the mating surface down on the grass. Keep going. Well, there's the new gaskets we put back in it. So, they seem to be alright. We'll reuse them again anyway. They're brand new, so... Oh well, they have been squished before, but a bit more silicone should be good. But yeah, this time I've got to strip the engine down a little further. So, let's keep moving on. We'll do the extractors, we'll do the valve covers, rocker arms, pull them off, head bolts, and it's good to come off. The rocker cover off on this side. Josh has taken the rocker cover off on the other side. And you can see just how disgusting it is. Don't worry about the alignment of the rocker arms, I've already loosened them. But yeah, that's pretty disgusting. Even in the valley, it is pretty mixed. You can see the cam lobe actually down in there. You're right, mate, you just hit your head. Oops. I'm fine. So, he's getting that rocker arm off. I've got all the head bolts loose as well. I just got to fully loosen them off, short it out, and then we'll get this head off, get that head off, see what we're up against. Alright, let's pull the head off, see what lies underneath. Nice, grab on. Oh, I may have to pry it up. Be right back. That's popped. Bunch of water came out, great. See how much water is in the cylinders, and this isn't even the bad side. Oh, try not to lose the push rods. We're losing push rods. Alright, Josh, put the thing down. Oh. Oh gosh. That's pretty hard.
The lighter.
This head gasket actually looks pretty good. It has not failed between the cylinders. This head gasket's actually fun. There's a bit of oil around that, though. I'm not too sure. I think it's alright though. The head even as well. Oh, there is some oil between each cylinder. Ah, you can see it here too. I don't know why that wasn't sealing because it doesn't look like it's failed, but anyway, let's have a look at the cylinder block. What do the bores look like? Bit of coolant in one of them. We have a look at the bores, or the cylinders in general. This one does concern me because there are some oil burn marks on that cylinder wall. I think there are some up there somewhere as well. So that's not great, but these engines are pretty simple, so I reckon it should be fine. Like, hot tolerances aren't exactly great and all that and this and that. It should be fine, I reckon. We'll just clean up the head surface and put the new gaskets on. Hope it's all good, I guess. But we'll see. That coolant is probably just from that water jacket where we took the head off. So that's probably all that is. Although, I would say coolant has been getting in these cylinders. Probably not so much that one, but this one and that one, because the pistons are very clean. But, well, we'll see what the other side looks like. Pull this side off and see what it looks like. Gosh, they're heavy and I'm weak. If we come and have a look at the actual cylinder, oh my gosh, that's bad. Water has been sitting in there for ages and it's rusted that cylinder a treat. That's really bad. That is why the engine would struggle to start. It'd be rusted over. So that's really not good. There's coolant in each other cylinder a fair bit. So yeah, that's real good. I'm going to try and, well, we'll lower the piston down, get a bottom dead center, and then I'm going to try like some WD-40 and stuff to clean that rust out. And hopefully that will solve the issue. I mean, look up in the corner there if I can get it to focus. That's actual physics. That's horrible. It's pretty rusted. I'll see what I can do. Oh gosh. I'll get it down to the bottom.
This curl is really thick and big. There. Alright, Rachel? Follow me.
Alright, that is that bottom dead center. I'm actually going to try and get some brake clean first and see if we can just clean off some of that rust. That's pretty bad. But yeah. Oh yeah? That's working quite well. Give it a bit of a scrub out. Oh, I can feel the coarse edge there. That's disgusting. That works quite well actually. Brake clean. There you go, Matt Armstrong. If you want to fix your Porsche engine, just use some brake clean. No need to use anything else. There's your rebuild right there. No, it's a bit different on these engines where piston bores don't have to be perfect, which, in saying that actually, in fact, that not only feels really bad, that bore feels oval. There's a spot right here where if I go right there, it's got a ridge. It humps up. So, oh, that's not good. Bit more brake clean in there. That's a lot, but that's alright. I don't know, these engines, as I said, they're pretty simple. They don't need too much to run. Like, you can run them on low compression. They'll run fairly fine. Obviously it helps, but yeah. They don't need the best of the best. So, I mean, that's looking a lot better. It honestly doesn't look great, but considering that was rusted out, it's all right. Unfortunately, the rust, and actually, if you've watched Matt Armstrong's video on his Porsche that was flooded, and he had rust in his engine because that was, well, genuinely flooded. It was fully into a river. No spoiler alerts, but go watch it if you haven't. Same thing on his engine. I think mine having here is there's this piston ball looks like this because it's missing. It's rusted away the coating. There's like a coating on. Oh, I can actually feel there's a lot of rust up here. That's really bad. But yeah, I think this board has lost its coating. We'll just pretend we never saw that, and we'll put it back together and hope it's all good. I'll show you up in here. That is the rusted edge I was talking about. That might be why it gets stuck sometimes when it starts, and sometimes not. Yeah, that's pretty bad. The others look, yeah, can't really see. I see. It's really just this cylinder. This cylinder's really bad. Like, look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That's, yeah, pretty bad. Hopefully we can get away without having to replace the engine though, but we'll find out. Alright, so it is quite a while later. I think it's been nearly a month since I last touched this car. I don't know where I last left off, but basically everything's cleaned up pretty much. Gasket's all cleaned up. Yeah, it's not looking great. I can't clean this crap off. I do quickly got to clean out the cylinders a little bit, just try and get some of the junk out of there. But basically it's ready to throw on the new gaskets, head gaskets, start putting it all back together and hope it works. So without further ado, let's get on to that. So both the heads are torqued and the rocker arms are torqued. To torque the heads, obviously you go in sequence, you know, middle out. First you tighten it to 34 Newton meters. Oh, make sure you put some sealant on it too. Some sort of Loctite 242 sealant or equivalent. Yeah, you torque to 34 Nm. You do that for everything. Then you go back to the center and you go 90 degrees, torque everything, and then again you do a second round of 90 degrees to finally torque off the head. Go in stages. To do the rocker arms, first thing you must note is put they have to be on the flat basically. They can't, the push rods and the lifters cannot be on the cam lobe. So first just tighten all the bolts up just a little bit, just so they kind of bottom out and compress the valve spring. Then you get your ratchet onto the crank and then just twist it. Look for one that's moving so I can see, I think that's the exhaust on cylinder number 1 is going down. Now it's coming back up. Back up. Good. Now the intake's going down. So I know this one is on the flat, I can torque that one. To do that, it's 10 Newton meters first and then 90 degree turn. The reason being these are all torque to yield bolts, head bolts and the rocker arm bolts. You're not meant to reuse them, you are meant to get new ones. So yeah, you put on the flat, I can see number 1's going down. Sorry, the intake on number 1 is going down. So again, I just keep cranking over the engine, it's going down, comes back up. I can see it's up now, I can torque that one. That's how you do it. So yeah, so both sides are done now. I think the next thing I'll do is I'll do the exhaust manifolds just because I hate doing them. So get them out of the way and then we can move on to the intake. So catch you later. That is me done for the day. Got a fair bit done. We're actually not far off starting it hopefully. So I've got the exhaust manifolds on, although I didn't realize I forgot. I am actually missing bolts, and then to make matters worse I went and dropped one of them and for the life of me I cannot find it. So I'm literally going to do everything else tomorrow, get everything finished up, then roll the car down the driveway, hopefully find the bolt, stick it on, and then I should be able to drive it up, hopefully, because I can't push it on my own. But yeah, the intake's on, everything behind the heads is on, the EGR's on, the throttle cables are on, the wiring on the top and back of the motor's all done. Literally all that's left now is to do like just the ancillaries now, basically. And then should be good to try and start it up. Back at it tomorrow, see how it goes. I've been working on this car all day. I went in for lunch, had a little bit of a break, came out. The last thing to do was change the oil because this is filled with coolant. The last thing to do was change it. Lo and behold, whoever's been here before me has completely stripped out the nut, the bolt, and the extractor bolts do nothing. They just slip. It is completely stuffed. I've been here filing for hours trying to fix it. I've tried vice grips. I've tried many different things. I cannot get this bolt to come off. So I'm beyond happy at the moment. I am extremely annoyed, to be honest. It's honestly looking like I've got to raise the engine or something to literally change the entire sump over, which is not easy because there's a massive great cross member in the way. So honestly right now I'm just literally just going to start it. I just want to hear this thing fly. I'm not going to run it for long because it's got the crap oil in it, but hopefully it won't. Yeah, hopefully it'll be alright. I'm just going to start it and see. Alright, I have removed the fuel pump relay just because I want to get some oil pressure into it first. Let's see how we go. Great, bell cut out. 1 sec. And it usually means there is some sort of loose connection it doesn't like. Pull this off, put it back down. Alright, now try that. Try it again. Okay, I don't know why I was actually trying to fire, because I have pulled the fuel pump fuse. Let's put it back. So literally, the fuel pump fuse is easily, it sits here. This one normally sits there. When I want to pull it, I just move it to this one because that's the spare. Alright, now it's in. Now the fuel pump can prime, and we should be good to go. Prime it once. Try prime it again. And go for it. I'll give it a sec. Alright, I did just swap a couple leads around. I think they were incorrect because I didn't actually read the numbers on them. Let's try that again. Shouldn't really be trying to do that. That does not sound right. Let me go have a look at things. I double checked everything. Everything seems to be good. So I just prime it again. See how we go. Oh, that's not good. Don't like that sound. I can smell some stuff. I don't know. Could just be a bit of oil in the manifold, but something is not right. It's like an extreme misfire. I need to double check a few more things. I'm gonna try again, but I'm gonna have my foot on the throttle and try to give it some throttle. Let's see. Heard the fuel pump. I'm holding it on the throttle. Goes to die. If I use throttle, I can get it. It honestly sounded like there was a bit of a vacuum leak. Which I just found. 1 sec. Alright, that hose was off the throttle body. How is it at the back? Alright, it's still in there. Because I put it in the back, but I didn't actually check the throttle body because I didn't take it out from there. Let's try that again. Prime it, foot on the throttle. It's better, but it's misfiring very badly. As you can see. Okay, it starts, but there's a misfire. I don't know why, to be honest. The leads are on the correct ones. I checked all the fuel injectors. They are certainly plugged in. Yep, there's certainly some smoke on the manifold. Yep, all the injectors are plugged in. Yep. Yep. This one back here. Yep. Alright, so all the injectors are certainly plugged in. That's plugged in, that's plugged in. I checked all the leads already. Yes, they are pushed on. This one though, I don't know, because it's got a different lead. That could be a problem. So I do have some other leads and coils I will just replace, I think. And I also have some spark plugs I will just swap out. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe it's something simple like a usual misfire, but I'm not sure. Not sure. For now, that's the end for the day. I'm moving the car out and I don't know. Get back. I'm pretty sure I know what cylinder's misfiring. I'm pretty sure it's this one because this, like I ran it for a little bit, just a tiny bit. That one is nowhere near as hot as the other 5 cylinders. I can kind of touch this one, but the other ones, yeah, ow. Okay, I can't touch the other ones. So good chance it's this cylinder. Just take the plug out, maybe quickly have a look at it. Hopefully there is no water in the cylinder. Well, I fixed the misfire. It was the connector for the injector. It was actually pushed in, I couldn't pull it out, but I unplugged it, put it back in. Now it's fine. There was a bit of a noise though. I hope that goes. Bit of a squeaky noise, I don't know. Might possibly be a loose rocker. Don't like the sounds of that though. We'll see. Alright, day 3 of working on this Ecotec from hell. Let's see. Well, let's just see if it starts first. I wouldn't be surprised if giving it a night it just won't suddenly start. Or run like crap. Oh, it stinks in here. Alright, so let's have a look. Let's see. Running like crap. Now it's fine. Okay. Oh, the pull card on there. With that being said, I think that will be the end of part 1. I'm sorry I didn't get much content as such into this episode. We're still basically where we were at the start. But hopefully episode 2 will be a bit more productive. So, that being said, thank you very much for watching and catch you next time.